All right, it's time to go over my top 10 running backs for week 6. And I'm saying right here at number 10, I have to say Breece Hall. He's kind of plummeted down the rankings a little bit, but I think a big portion of that, not only is that the Jets not that good of a football team, but that Braylon Allen is really coming onto the scene. Is kind of splitting a lot of the workload with Breece Hall, right? Breece Hall, when given the opportunity to be the man, I mean, we're talking about 18, 19 carries in a game. You see some pretty good games out of Breece Hall. He's just not getting that. And the more times that Braylon Allen is touching the ball and the more times he's getting opportunity, the less opportunity Breece Hall is going to get. But this week, Breece Hall goes against a Bills defense that ranks dead last, 32nd in the league against opposing running backs. My problem is that he's splitting the workload pretty much like a 60-40 with Braylon Allen, right? So yes, while I think that he has an opportunity to have a really good week this week, as long as they're utilizing him correctly, I'm just not really sure that's going to happen. Now, they did have the head coach fired. You know, Saleh, he's out of there now, right? So how does the new head coach come in there? I mean, who's going to be? Is it going to be Hackett? Is he going to be the interim head coach? I really don't know at the point of the recording of this video. But if they go to the workload of just giving Breece Hall the ball, he's going to have a blow-up week this week. I have no set and forget it. He would easily be top 5 into my rankings. My problem is I just don't understand that if he's getting less than 10 carries in a game like last week, I mean, can you really rely on him being a top 5 fantasy producer? No, you can't. Even though going against a team that he should absolutely be shredding right now, you can't have the confidence right now going in. If they end up going there and destroying this team and they get a big lead, are they going to keep Breece Hall in? Probably not. It's going to be Braylon Allen running the football at the end of the game. So there's a lot of factors in here as why I have Breece Hall as number 10 in my rankings. Again, it's almost a shame at this point because Breece Hall was like a consistent number 1 running back in Dynasty between him and Bijan Robinson, you know, but I got him here at number 10 of these rankings. So do better, Jets. Make him the featured back, and I'll definitely rise him up into my rankings. Come here at number 9. We're talking about James Conner. This is a running back that he is getting no competition. He's unlike Breece Hall. He's getting the workload this week going against a Packers defense that ranks 16th against opposing running backs. He should continue to get all the carries, right? The bulk of the carries of this team. He's going to continue to really be the man for this offense. And it was said, you know, at the very beginning, Trey Benson, just because you guys drafted this guy doesn't mean he is going to be the guy, right? It's all James Conner's team. You know, God forbid, an injury is probably going to happen sooner rather than later with James Conner. That's just what his whole career is about. That's when Benson gets more of the opportunities. But as of right now, it is James Conner's show, and he's going to be running the football quite a bit. I like him this week. I think just opportunity alone, volume alone, is going to keep him above players like Breece Hall, in my opinion. At any given time, I think Breece Hall is clearly a better running back than James Conner. But volume alone, I mean, he had, 19 carries last game. He could have a similar workload this week and completely just blow out Breece Hall just based on volume alone. So I like myself some James Conner. Get him into your lineups. Moving right along, another guy that we were just talking about earlier, but you know, it was a number 1, number 2 draft pick, especially in dynasty leagues, is Bijan Robinson. He's coming here at number 8, right? He's another one of these running backs. He should have a really good week this week. I expect him to have a really good week this week. I just like some guys a little bit better than him, but he's getting the bulk of the carries. He's getting all the workload, but they have Tyler Algier. He's kind of biting at his ankles at this moment. So, you know, you never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like a Forrest Gump box of chocolates type of issue, right? But this week, going against this Panthers defense that ranks 31st against opposing running backs, he should be heavily involved in a positive game script. So as long as everything goes where it is and they don't go crew crazy where they pull out Bijan and let Tyler Algier just finish up the entire game, I think Bijan Robinson is going to be able to run all over this defense. I like him. He could easily be a top 5 running back. For me, I just don't know how he's going to be utilized. Is he going to be the main ball carrier who's getting a crap load of touches? Or is it going to be a lot of Tyler Algier stealing some of these goal line carries and this and that? That's the problem with these running backs. You just don't have these featured backs anymore. And they really need to get back to that. I like myself some featured backs, but Bijan Robinson, easily at number 8 for me. Move right along here. At number 7, I'm going David Montgomery. This guy should have plenty of goal line carries this week against this Cowboys defense that ranks 28th against opposing running backs. Like I said earlier, you know, I see a bunch of goal line carries for this guy. I like the entire backfield of the Lions. I think they get a lead early against these Cowboys, and they're going to want to run the football. They're going to want to kind of maintain the clock, to kind of take control and come away with a victory against these Cowboys. Most of the time you see this matchup mostly in like Thanksgiving or something like that, but they're doing it a little earlier this week, or this year I should say, and I think that the Lions come in there and they actually do something on offense to where it's okay, it's a big running game. A lot of people have been able to run all over this team except for Devin Singletary, but we'll let that go. But I mean, everybody's been able to run on this defense. I think this the plethora of the offensive line here, the way they run the football, I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want against this Cowboys defense. I like myself some David Montgomery this week. Move right along here at number 6. We're going Josh Jacobs. This is a running back that I have to admit I was absolutely wrong on. I thought Marshawn Lloyd was going to come in here, take this job, but Marshawn Lloyd can't even get on the field because he's hurt all the time. So it is what it is. This is Josh Jacobs' team this week going against a Cardinals defense that ranks 25th against opposing running backs. No one is competing for touches in this backfield. This is all Josh Jacobs. And the more that Jordan Love comes in, is he stays healthy. He's getting better and better. And he's even missing some options, right? Missing Christian Watson because of injury. He had Dubes suspended last week. I think he should be back this week. He's kind of disgruntled what he's doing. But with Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft, they're doing a lot of things. And what's happening is Josh Jacobs is having plenty of holes to run through because there's so many options on the outfit. They can't stack the box against Josh Jacobs. And it's giving him a lot more running room and making him productive. I mean, he's getting a crap ton of carries. There's nobody even close to competing with him for any type of carries in this backfield. This is solely Josh Jacobs' backfield on an offense that should be winning quite a bit, which means the positive game scripts coming out, which means Josh Jacobs should be a killer, and he should be a killer this week in week 6. Moving right along here at number 5, we're going Jahmyr Gibbs, right? We kind of touched on a little bit with David Montgomery. I think going against this Cowboys defense, who really can't guard anybody. I mean, they're struggling against almost every single team in the book. Jahmyr Gibbs is lightning in a bottle. I would love Jahmyr Gibbs. He would probably be a top 2 running back for me week in and week out if it wasn't for David Montgomery, because once they get inside the 15, the 10, it's mostly David Montgomery, not a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs. That's why I think it just kind of holds him back just a little bit. But you see the ability in Jahmyr Gibbs and what he's able to do, break free at any given time and go for a long touchdown. He has good receiving ability. He has good cutback ability. He's got the entire package. I think this week going against this Cowboys defense, ranking 28th against opposing running backs, he may shred this defense for absolute chunk plays because that's what they give up. They give up the big plays, and that's where Jahmyr Gibbs really shines through. That's why I have him so high on my rankings here in week 6. You've got to get this guy into your lineup. I like myself some Jahmyr Gibbs. Move right along here at number 4. We're going Jordan Mason, right? Going against a Seahawks defense currently right now that ranks 19th against opposing running backs. This may be the last week without Christian McCaffrey. What Jordan Mason has been able to do to fill in for Christian McCaffrey has been nothing short of absolute amazing. They're just not playing the way they want. What is it? The defense not playing as good. Brock Purdy really not managing the game as best as he possibly can. But Jordan Mason is absolutely showing out right now. No one's really competing for him. There's a good chance that next week we could see Christian McCaffrey back, and that's going to absolutely just kill Jordan Mason's value. But then again, if Christian McCaffrey comes back, they're not going to give him a full workload. So there'll be still some workload for Jordan Mason. But as far as this week goes, he should be the main ball carrier. He should get the bulk of the carries. And I think he may go out with a bang against a Seattle defense that may not be the easiest defense to run on, but I think it's enough to get the job done with Jordan Mason. They're riding this guy quite a bit because Brock Purdy's kind of struggling. Maybe one game he has Deebo Samuel doing really well. One game like last week you saw Brandon Ayuk go out there and go absolute hamsaws. Maybe you have this week, maybe George Kittle, which I believe is going to be more of a Kittle game in the past game. But we'll go over the tight end rankings more tomorrow. But I think this week, Jordan Mason really gets it along. I like himself as a top 4 running back this week. In week 6, get yourself some Jordan Mason. Move right along here at number 3. I'm going Saquon Barkley. Fresh off of this bye week, we see he gets so many more snaps. He's tied for first place right now in total snaps in the NFL. Man, it's phenomenal what he can do. I think that Saquon Barkley is going to come in here and continue to get a bunch of snaps. Nobody, not even Kenneth Gainwell's not even competing for this guy to do anything. This week, he's going against a Browns defense that ranks 17th against opposing running backs, right? He's having the biggest workload, right, of any running back currently in the NFL. And Saquon Barkley is able to put up a ton of points with what he's able to do with these opportunities. And I told you guys before the season start, you saw players like Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift have a lot of success behind this offensive line. Saquon Barkley is a much better running back than any of these running backs can even dream of being, and he has shown it. He is going to clear the 1,000-yard rushing mark this year. He's going to clear a lot of markers here for fantasy football for you. If you took a chance and drafted yourself some Saquon Barkley towards the mid to late first round, he is paying huge dividends for you. This week he comes in, should have the same type of effect You know, it may not have the easiest route against this defense, but I think overall he's still going to have a good fantasy day for you, and he can break out any given run and score a 60-yard touchdown bomb, as we saw he did against the Saints when he was struggling early on, ended up coming through. The same thing could happen here for the Browns. I like myself some Saquon Barkley. Coming here at number 2, I'm going Alvin Kamara, right? Alvin Kamara is a guy that it's all about Clint Kubiak's offense, right? Now, we have to see what is the health status of Derek Carr. If he ends up missing this game, oh my goodness, the amount of carries and touches that Alvin Kamara is going to get. We saw when Jake Haener came in for that last series last week, he targeted Alvin Kamara, like 2 or 3 times? So Kamara could have a crazy week this week, taking on a Bucs defense that ranks 20th against opposing running backs. And like I was saying, if Derek Carr is injured, Kamara's going to receive a massive workload. And we saw it the first time that he played the Buccaneers. He had a crazy good game against the Buccaneers, right? Alvin Kamara can get the job done. He is the focal point in this offense. And with the starting quarterback, God forbid, is missing, Alvin Kamara is going to go bonkers. Absolute bonkers this week. I love myself some Alvin Kamara. I had to put him here at number 2 for me. And coming here at number 1, we have to go Derrick Henry once again. Can anyone stop this guy or slow him down? He started slow a little bit earlier on in the year, right? Week 1 or so. But now he's getting used to the offense, getting used to Lamar Jackson. They're really featuring this guy quite a bit, and he's getting a lot of rushing touchdowns. What is he up to, like 6 or 7 at this point already? I mean, Derrick Henry can completely annihilate people, and this week is going to be crazy for him as well. Taking on the Commanders defense right now, it ranks 18th against opposing quarterbacks. Against opposing running backs. He should continue to feast on defense. The Commanders defense, let's just face it, they are not good. And now they get to have to guard Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Who are they going to guard at this point? The Commanders are going to get completely shredded. I think they get a huge lead, and I think they're going to be running Derrick Henry a lot to just kind of churn up some clock. He's going to have a huge fantasy week this week. Easily my number 1 running back. Get him in your lineup for week 6. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit a subscribe button, guys. Most of you guys watching the video aren't even subscribed. Do me a favor, take a couple seconds, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. We are pumping out multiple videos each and every week to help you set the best lineups possible, get in the best position possible, getting those waivers before everybody else. We want you to ultimately win a championship. That's what we do here at the Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network. I hope you decide to become a part of the community. Be in the comment section. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about Derrick Henry being number 1? Is he number 1 in your rankings? I am curious to see what you guys have, but I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.